From Restaurant August to a portfolio of some of the most well-known restaurants in New Orleans, BRG Hospitality has helped shape the city's dining scene. Now, they're expanding with 2 new concepts. We're going to talk about that and so much more. Joining us to talk about all of it, On the Table, sponsored by Blue Runner Foods, Chef John Besh and Octavio Mantilla. It's great to see you guys.
It's great to see you. Thanks for having us.
I'm here.
It's so good and a beautiful day here in New Orleans, right? I want to ask the first question here, and it really helps us sort of set the foundation. Let's start at the beginning. Take us back to Restaurant August. Did y'all have a sense that then that it would grow into something as big as it's grown into?
Not in my wildest dreams. I wanted to open a restaurant. I wanted to open a beautiful restaurant in this great town of New Orleans, and Octavio, him being the maitre d' and I was the cook, and we could have never dreamt of what life would bring us, and just feel so honored. And now we're celebrating our 25th anniversary at August, so
that is amazing.
It's really special.
Location. How did y'all come to that location? I mean, you can't beat the corner.
Well, actually, that building burned down. It used to be Pastore's restaurant back in the olden.
Which was one of your first jobs.
It was my first job.
Oh,
I was
wow.
a busboy there. Happens that the building burned down. Pastore's went out of business. And then August Duke Robin bought the building and built it back up and put a restaurant. That's why it's named August, because it was built by August Duke Robin. And that was how it came about.
Wow.
And a couple of years in, he decided he did not want to be in the restaurant business. And so I was fortunate to be his chef at the time, and then got Octavio to leave Caesars and come join our team, and
That's great.
the rest is history.
That's good. I think a lot of people would deeply appreciate that. They dine so wonderfully there, but to have that background, I think, makes the meal taste even better. That's wonderful. So over the years, you've built a portfolio of restaurants that really become staples in New Orleans. We can go down the list, but we talk about Luke, Domenica, and beyond. What's been it like to build sort of a great presence in the city? I mean, again, you're starting at August, but did you dream that as well?
I think each restaurant should really just been a love story for the city.
Yeah.
And the second restaurant being Luke. My first date with Jennifer was at Cobb's restaurant down the street, and I really missed that style and that ode to the German heritage of New Orleans, and so I wanted Luke to really bring back that kind of soul of Cobb's, and so and then we can just go down the list. Growing up, idolizing and working for the Gendusa family, and wanted to bring like a real kind of like Northern Italian style of restaurant at Domenica to the Roosevelt Hotel, and so each restaurant really has its own. It's just been a passion project of ours.
Yeah, like you were alluding to, they have their own personality. I know people who will go to no other restaurant but Luke, if that's their go-to.
Well, especially before a Saints game.
That's right. But Domenica has made it such a great mark, not only for locals, but also you get a number of the visitors that come through the Roosevelt.
And Domenica has a big story with John, because John did his apprenticeship in Germany, south of Germany, and he will go on Sundays to Italy to eat and have a good meal with German coin. He could buy a lot in Italy, so that's why Domenica is called Domenica. It means Sunday.
We used to say on Sundays we're Italian, so we'd take the few Deutschmarks that we had and go trade them in for a lira, and we were like rich. We could afford to dine in a fancy restaurant.
Y'all bring a dynamic to the relationship, business, creativity. How do y'all manage that throughout the day and throughout the operation?
Business, creativity.
That's it. I didn't mean to point business that way, but
He's a businessman.
What is that like? I mean,
it's really been
true partners.
So fortunate for me. I'd like to say for both of us that we have this great dynamic, and that we're able to he supports my creativity, and then I also bring a little color and into his life and
The flair?
It's
I don't know. I've known Octavio
it's
to have
been an
some
awesome
Yeah.
relationship and
That's
so
I
much
think a
fun.
good partnership. You'll each have your strengths, and you bring it to the table, right?
We're half kind of like old married couple and half brothers, and so
Well, the restaurant scene, not only in New Orleans but throughout the region, it evolves all the time. How do you stay current and fresh with your concepts, and yet still maintain, the basic tenets of how you created at the very beginning? I mean, what goes into that?
people, I think, just hiring and retaining great human beings that have a buy-in, that love what
Yeah.
we do and what we stand for, and that's been the most uplifting and at times the most challenging, just to make sure that we have the right people around us at all times and that we're investing in them and to see them achieve their goals. I think is really just so enjoyable.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're giving people opportunities that maybe would have been available to them. I mean, I'm thinking about the new chef at Delacroix. I mean,
Oh, Wiley's
wonderful.
awesome.
Chef Wiley has just made such a great mark in just the few months that y'all have been open.
And that's been such a passion project of just bringing that kind of fish camp.
Yeah.
Truly, that bringing the fishing camp and hunting camp culture to visitors and locals alike, and it's just been amazing.
Well, it's so interesting too because this is really the first time that I can remember. I remember Bella Luna was on the river, but it was further down on the second floor. But here you're right on the river. I mean, Spanish Plaza, you cannot beat the location.
The river's underneath us.
And
You make a
you're
hole through
right
the
on
dining
you're on
room,
the dock.
The water's running through it.
You're on the dock, right?
Yeah.
And that atmosphere that you've created, like you said, the fish camp and the interior work that was done. Who did the interior?
Well, funny enough, Octavio's eldest daughter has studied set design in New York and been a set designer on Broadway, and I came back home to New Orleans to have and raise a family, and so I quickly put her to work on this, and that she gets it. She understood
Yeah.
what that feeling was, and she had like her childhood of growing up within her grandparents' camps and fishing and that, and it's really permeated itself. That idea of rustic Louisiana cooking and architecture and style has kind of permeated its way throughout. From the drink menu to the menu. And Wiley Lewis, Chef Wiley's really, she embodies it also, and so we just had a home run.
Yeah, and as you look around the walls, the things that y'all have decorated the restaurant, everything's got a story.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. And speaking of Delacroix, this is where Sail 250 New Orleans will be hosting the seafood cook-off, where we're pairing chefs from around the region with the culinary specialists. Don't call them cooks. I once made the mistake of calling the ship culinary specialists a cook. They said, no, we're culinary specialists. We're not cooks, okay? But we're going to have the seafood cook-off, and thank y'all for hosting. That's going to be a
That's gonna be
fantastic event.
Very exciting, just to have people from all around the world.
Sunday, May 31st
Yeah.
at 1 p.m. You have to be at the Delacroix.
And everybody's
Definitely.
welcome.
Yes, everybody's welcome, and hopefully they cook enough that we can all get a little taste of what they're doing. All right, so y'all have expanded. You're now on the North Shore. Talk to us about that.
We've had a place in downtown Covington for quite some time, for 4 years now,
Right.
called Tavi, named after Octavio's grandson. And that's been our Mediterranean-style Levantine restaurant. So we had the space next door, and we were looking at it for years, the old movie theater. And so we've renovated that and turned that into Feliciana Bistro and Bar. And then upstairs on the second level, a beautiful patio bar
Rooftop cocktail lounge.
called Paradise. And so both of them work together really nicely, and but both extremely different.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, North Shore is so beautifully presented as a place to, you can escape New Orleans. You're just a little north. It's just a different world over there. It really is.
It's kind of like going back to, it's like Mayberry. It really is. They've done it right, and I'm a product of the North Shore, so that's my stomping ground, and it's been that's been really rewarding. And the restaurants are owed, both of them are known to Walker Percy and have a lot of his personality
Yeah.
in throughout.
So Tavi, though, being 4 years now into it, what was the initial reason to go to Covington? I mean, was it someplace that you grew up going to on a regular basis, or?
Oh, absolutely. And then I think Octavio also has a great relationship with Covington. He and Charlotte will go and spend weekends at the Southern Hotel and frequent all the beautiful restaurants over there. And there's there's a real sense of community there that, and a lot of New Orleanians that have summered over there and live over there part time, and so it's really it's been a home away from home.
Yeah, visit NorthShore.com is one of our sponsors, and we'd love to talk about the opportunities that you can do over there as much as possible. Now, I'm going to ask you a question that's probably the most difficult question. It's like asking who's your favorite child. But do you have a favorite place to hang out of all your restaurants?
I think, I don't know.
Depends on the day, perhaps?
I think that each one of them have their own personalities, and I find myself, I've lived at Delacroix for the past 6 months, and right now I'm actually just I'm all in on Feliciana at the moment. So Octavio would have a better take.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard.
Yeah, you better be careful.
Who's your favorite child?
That's
I mean,
right.
who's doing the best today? I'm not being bad. I think, but I do have to say I have just a tiny. I love them all. A tiny. I love August.
Yeah.
It's our first restaurant. It's amazing, and my wife loves it, so we go there often.
Mm-hmm.
Sit at the bar, talk to people. This past weekend for Jazz Fest with Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart was just
so
hanging out
I
at
mean,
August.
We were hanging out at August, and Rod Stewart walks in, and he sits at the bar. He wants to have a martini. We started chatting. All of a sudden, on Sunday, we're backstage with him drinking at Jazz Fest. So, I mean, it's fun. August is awesome, and but they're all great. They're all great. I love Domenica. I love Willa. I like Luke a lot. Luke is like awesome. A lot of locals. Delacroix looking at the river, so it's kind of hard, but just this bit, August.
So you're telling me if we hang out at the bar at August, we might see a celebrity?
You will see somebody.
Well, you'll meet some characters.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
will meet some characters.
What's next on the BRG landscape?
Right now, we're just
I'm
trying
saying
to...
nothing. I think we're at a fun stage right now, and the city's just been on fire, and this has been the best spring that I can remember. And so I think every restaurant that we have, just it's a process, and we're going to spend this next year just really focusing on what we have and perfecting what we can.
Yeah.
And like you asked earlier, what do you do to keep like a 25-year-old restaurant on the front? We're going to spend some time this summer doing a lot of renovations at August. Because it's 25 years old now, we're going to keep pushing. And then, so we got to spend a lot of time and attention to the existing restaurants. Luke is almost, 21 years, be 20 years next year. And
it's
so
all
they
an
all need a
evolution.
little love all
Sure.
the time. So I think keeping those restaurants going and in the forefront and pushing them, it's also a challenge. So
Yeah.
I think we just opened 3 restaurants in the last 6 months. I think now it's time to concentrate on the existing ones and keep pushing them up.
Speaking of August, someone comes into town for the first time, they're going to go to August. What is the entree that they should get for their first visit? Because they'll be back.
Well, they have to have the gnocchi to start out with. And then from there, the snapper pontchartrain or the duck, 3 ways, I suppose.
Yeah. I think that's two items you gotta have. The gnocchi's been there since
The Nokia,
for
yes.
25 years. I think everything else changes quite often, but yeah, the gnocchi. I
Yeah.
would get that.
And also the private space that you have at August is fantastic on the second floor. It's amazing.
It's just, we're so fortunate to have
Yeah.
such a beautiful building.
And consistent service personnel. I mean,
Oh,
your
yeah.
crew is
We
the
are-
best.
We've had, that's where we've been, I think, the most blessed of just not having a lot of turnover. And so we've kept our team for years and years. And
And actually, August has helped with the growth because that's where a lot of our team have started from, and then they go to the next restaurant, and that's how it's kind of like a little farm of
Yeah.
our little incubator for
incubators for
creating
talent.
professionals. Yeah.
Well, it's fantastic, and we are so looking forward to being with you all on the riverfront on May 31st for the seafood cook-off. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know Chef Wiley's going to have a kitchen full of culinary specialists from several ships, and so it's going to be terrific. Listen, y'all have classics. You've got the new restaurants. You're covering the landscape here, and we deeply appreciate what you're doing for the culinary experience that people have here. Y'all the best. Thank you.
Well, New Orleans is all about hospitality, and we're thrilled to play a role in it.
All right. Well, Octavio, John, appreciate you coming in, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.